Today, let's explore together how to approach rebuilding joy when you've lost interest in everything. If you're feeling like nothing seems to matter anymore, like the things that once brought you pleasure now feel empty and meaningless, please know that you're not alone. This experience, known scientifically as anhedonia, affects millions of people worldwide. Today, we'll examine what recent research tells us about this condition and explore evidence-based approaches that might help you rediscover your capacity for joy and meaning. The scientific community has made remarkable progress in understanding anhedonia over the past few years. Current research suggests that this loss of interest and pleasure involves specific changes in the brain's reward circuitry. A comprehensive 2024 meta-analysis published in PMC examined various treatment approaches and found that anhedonia affects the dopamine pathways connecting key brain regions including the ventral striatum, nucleus accumbens, and prefrontal cortex. These areas are responsible for processing reward, motivation, and pleasure. Research institutions have discovered that inflammation in the brain plays a significant role in anhedonia. Studies indicate that increased inflammatory cytokines create low-functional connectivity in corticostriatal reward circuits, which directly impacts our ability to experience pleasure. However, this research also reveals hope. The brain's remarkable capacity for neuroplasticity means these circuits can be rebuilt and strengthened. A large-scale study examining treatment approaches found that novel medications including ketamine, vortioxetine, agomelatine, and bupropion show promising anti-anhedonic effects. However, it's important to note that these findings represent general trends, and individual responses may vary. The research limitations include varying study populations and different measurement methods, so we must approach these findings as helpful guidance rather than absolute answers. Functional imaging studies have provided fascinating insights into how anhedonia affects the brain. Scientists have identified that certain brain circuits become less active when someone experiences anhedonia, but they've also found that targeted interventions can help restore normal function. One particularly encouraging finding from mindfulness research shows that specific practices can increase motivated attention to natural reward cues, with effects lasting through 4-month follow-up periods. It's worth noting that current research suggests individual factors like age, co-occurring conditions, and family history might influence how someone responds to different approaches. This emphasizes the importance of personalized care and working with healthcare professionals to find the most suitable path forward. Now let's explore some practical methods that research suggests might be helpful. Please remember that these are general approaches based on scientific studies, and what works may vary from person to person. The first method is what researchers call behavioral activation. This approach is based on the principle that action can come before motivation. Studies suggest that engaging in activities even when you don't feel motivated can help rebuild neural pathways associated with pleasure and interest. The key is to start very small, perhaps just 5 minutes of an activity that once brought you joy, or trying something entirely new. Why this method is effective lies in its impact on dopamine systems. When we engage in activities, even without initial motivation, our brains still receive small doses of reward signals that can gradually strengthen over time. The second approach involves learning new skills or activities. Neuroscience research indicates that learning stimulates the release of dopamine and promotes neuroplasticity. This might involve picking up a musical instrument, learning a new language, trying art or crafts, or even learning about topics that spark curiosity. The effectiveness of this method comes from its ability to create new neural pathways and activate dormant reward circuits. Even spending 10 to 15 minutes daily on learning something new can begin to shift brain chemistry in positive directions. The third method is mindful savoring, which has shown promising results in recent studies. This involves deliberately paying attention to positive sensory experiences without judgment. You might spend a few minutes truly tasting your morning coffee, feeling sunlight on your skin, or listening carefully to music you enjoy. Research suggests this practice helps strengthen connections in reward circuits by training your brain to notice and appreciate present moment experiences. The psychological mechanism here involves developing what scientists call reward sensitivity, essentially teaching your brain to recognize and respond to positive stimuli again. A fourth approach is gentle social connection. Studies consistently show that social interaction plays a crucial role in dopamine regulation and overall mental health. This doesn't mean forcing yourself into overwhelming social situations, but rather seeking structured, low-pressure activities like joining a class, volunteering, or simply having regular contact with supportive people. The effectiveness of social connection lies in its impact on multiple brain systems simultaneously. It provides external stimulation, creates opportunities for positive experiences, and helps regulate stress hormones that can interfere with reward processing. The fifth method involves working with healthcare professionals to explore additional support options. This might include therapy approaches specifically designed for anhedonia, such as behavioral activation therapy or mindfulness-based interventions. Some people might also benefit from medical evaluation to explore whether medications could be helpful. The reason professional support can be so effective is that trained clinicians can provide personalized assessments and treatments that target the specific aspects of anhedonia affecting each individual. Throughout all these approaches, it's important to remember that progress might feel very gradual at first. Research suggests that rebuilding reward sensitivity often happens slowly, with small improvements accumulating over weeks and months rather than dramatic overnight changes. Being patient and gentle with yourself during this process is not just kindness, it's actually supported by science, as self-criticism and pressure can interfere with the neuroplasticity processes that support recovery. To summarize what we discussed today, let me highlight the key points that research suggests might be most helpful. First, anhedonia involves specific brain circuits, but these circuits can be rebuilt through neuroplasticity. Understanding this can help reduce self-blame and provide hope for improvement. Second, behavioral activation, taking action even without motivation, can help restart dormant reward systems by providing your brain with positive experiences to process. Third, learning new skills stimulates dopamine release and creates new neural pathways that support interest and engagement. Fourth, mindful savoring practices help train your brain to notice and appreciate positive experiences in the present moment. Fifth, gentle social connection supports dopamine regulation and provides external sources of positive stimulation. Sixth, professional support can provide personalized approaches and additional tools that might accelerate the healing process. If you're experiencing anhedonia, please remember that this is a recognized condition with growing scientific understanding and treatment options. Your experience is valid, and there are evidence-based approaches that might help. Recovery often happens gradually, and it's okay to start very small. Consider reaching out to healthcare professionals who can provide personalized guidance for your specific situation. The research we've discussed today offers real hope. Scientists continue to develop better understanding of how anhedonia works and more effective ways to address it. While everyone's journey is different, many people do find their way back to experiencing joy and interest in life. Be patient with yourself, and know that seeking support is a sign of wisdom, not weakness. If today's discussion provided any support or useful information, please hit the like button. If you'd like to continue learning about mental health topics together, please consider subscribing to our channel. May your hearts feel a little lighter, and thank you for listening until the end today. Remember, you're not alone in this journey, and there is hope for rediscovering joy in your life.